Down valuations, they can happen, and I've had the first one in recent times this week, where unfortunately a financial gap between the opinion of a surveyor, myself, a buyer, and a seller has created a little bit of a problem that we need to resolve. So this one is from the seller's angle. If you're selling a property and your buyer does have a down valuation, what sort of thing you can do to try and remedy this situation. First and foremost, prevention is better than cure. So if you've had a bidding war on your property, you should be honest enough, and your agent should be proactive enough to say, okay, the numbers have got a little bit out of hand here. People are starting to think with their heart rather than their head. They're excited about buying your house, and a surveyor is going to come round. Realistically, they're not living there. They're maybe going to take a bit more of a pessimistic view, and you could get chipped down on price back to where it should have been in the first place, really. So if you have achieved more for your property than you expected, and it then gets down valued, try and take the optimistic, I've still got what I wanted. I'm losing money that I never really had in the first place. That would be my professional opinion. Of course, once you've had that carrot dangled in front of you of a large number, you're going to want to do everything you can to try and keep that on the rails. So sensible to have a conversation with your estate agent to say, right, how much of a gap are we looking at? The buyer will probably want you to come down on price, maybe 5, 10, 15,000 pounds in my part of the world. And you're not under any obligation to do that, but it's always sensible if you can keep an existing transaction running rather than have to start again. If you start again, you might lose your onward purchase. You might find that it takes a few weeks to find a new buyer, and then, sod's law, you might find that your new buyer has a down valuation as well, and a month or 6 weeks down the line, you're back in the same position again. So my professional advice would always be that if you are selling a property and we're not happy about a down valuation, but if it is possible to come to some kind of middle ground where everybody gets what they want, which is ultimately a sale of a property, as opposed to having to start again, you should always do everything you can to try and make that happen if possible. If you are local to Welling, Sidcup or Bexley Heath, and this has happened to you, would love to hear your comments below. And of course, if I can help you, please do get in touch. Take care.